by Dave Freeze over in Alabama, and he's got, in the last few years, he's gotten several other guys to work with him on some of the subroutines. There's Fldigi, which is the main part of the program. There's FL Message, which sends to you forms that has all the ARL forms, radio ready forms are in there. The ICS forms are in there from NIMS. The HIPAA forms are in there. The Red Cross forms are in there. And just all the regular normal traffic forms are in there as well. Plus there's just a plain document. So what's nice about that, it ties into Fldigi all by itself. Okay? We're not going to cover very much of that today. We're going to just go over the basic fundamental setup of the Fldigi program. And then at the very end, Dan and I are going to show on the big screen here what RTTY signal looks like and how you tune it in. Okay? All right, so anybody else that needs that thumb drive, there's a folder on there called Fldigi. I think it's 4013. Just copy the whole folder over your laptop. And then open the folder up and install each executive file on there. Each exec file will be fine.
Is there some place we can find this on the internet?
If you just go Google Fldigi,
Okay.
go to the website. It's W1 HKJ, I believe it is. And on his website, there's a link. It will take you to SourceForge. That's the best way to go there.
It's the only way to go there.
Yeah,
They quit doing it through his website.
Well, yeah. But SourceForge has got bazillions of files out there by a lot of other people as well.
Right.
If you go to his website and get linked over to SourceForge, it'll put you right in SourceForge where you need to go. Okay?
We also got a link on our website that'll take you straight there too.
Oh, do you?
You
Okay.
do?
Oh, okay. All right. All right, so this is the latest version of the program. Come on, get there and run here for me, buddy. Okay, very good. Let's go. Let's cut this down.
Ron, you gonna talk about how you got that connected between the link and the radio and the computer at all?
Yeah. Anybody else need the thumb drive for a laptop? No? Okay. All right. If you're this is a signaling box here. This is the push-to-talk interface that works from the computer over to the radio. That's its only function. That's also the sound card. So I'm not using the sound card in my laptop. So what will happen is the computer will send the digital impulse over this signal link. The signal link will then send it over to the radio. This also has a connection to the radio's push-to-talk feature, and it will put the radio in transmission. When the program is done transmitting, the software will send the code and shut everything back down to receive mode again, all automatically. And those of you who want to see how this is all hooked up here, it's just 2 wires. That's why it's so simple. It's just 2 wires, which makes it really nice. Okay, the basic configuration. Once you install Fldigi and you start it up running, this is what you're going to come up with. Now I'm going to go over here. I'm going to just for grins and giggles, I'm going to choose PSK 31. Okay, this little window here, for those of you that like to do contesting, oh crap, excuse me just for a second. For those of you that like to do contesting, this can also be, this window was always available. You can shrink it down to almost nothing if you don't want to see it. But when you're doing contesting mode, what this window does, you'll notice down here, this is the waterfall, and there are just numbers down here. These kind of reference to audio frequency tones. That's all that really is. But up here, you'll notice right here, it gives you an exact frequency. So the program that Dave Freeze has now written, the latest version, part of the program always resides within contest mode. And that's this window over here. It'll give you the exact frequency. So if you've got a signal running down here and you click on it, or you come over here and click on it, and put your cursor right on top of it automatically for you. And it will give you the exact frequency for you.
Now, Ron, this information, 3583. Where is it getting that from?
Well, right now it's just picking up my voice. Okay, it's just noise in the background.
Well,
Because I don't have this program at the moment is not configured for this. It will be in a minute though. Hang on, watch. Let me go into configure. Let's go down. This is what you need to do when you get the program. Come in here. You want to come in and you want to configure miscellaneous. Come over here to miscellaneous on this one. Go to operator. Now, put your call sign in all capital letters, and your city and state, your station locator. You need to do this so that if you ever go into contest mode, all this information is already available. So you don't have to enter it in yourself manually every single time. And then every time you make a change to any one of these configuration screens, you want to come down here and you want to click on Save. So call letter, your station call sign, all caps, city, state, your station locator, which is your grid square, your operator call sign, and then only your first name. You only ever use your first name. That's all you ever use there. And then whatever antenna you want to put in there. This screen here is just all defaults. General information. Again, this is all pretty much just all defaults. Log. You can set this up any way you want to set it up, but I've just left it for defaults. There's very, very little change that you have to put into this program. Your waterfall, you can choose your colors here. And again, I'll let it stay just as a default. Now, FFT processing, this area here sets the lower end of your scale. If you look down here, you'll see mine's at 500. And that's where most scales just barely begin to operate at in that area. So you can lower that. If I want to lower that, say down to 300, or all the way down to 0, I can do that. But see how it's increasing? It's all the way out to here now. Most stations won't be down that low on the scale. I'm going to put it back up on 500.
So that's Ron. That's audio. That's inside.
That's an audio reference line. That's all that is.
But it's in hertz, right?
Yes, it's in hertz.
Okay. I just wanted.
What is your high number there, Ron?
Here, 4,500. That's the high end. I don't think it's going to go out that far. We can try it. Usually 3,000 is where people stop.
Kind of dependent
Yeah,
on.
you can't even see anything up that far. And that's
Radio
controlled a lot by
band
the filters and stuff on your radio
Mm.
too. But we'll go back up to 3,000. 500 to 3,000 is where most people hang out for the range, okay? The lower range you can extend a little lower down if you want to, that's no problem. And then you just save that one. Now your modems, that's all defaults. Now this is something that you guys like to use rig control. You've got RigCat to use, you've got ham, you've got FLRig. FLRig is another one of his subroutine programs. There's a separate program out there on his website. For me, it does not work very well. There are a lot of other programs out there that operate a radio through a computer that will work much better than this. This gives you just very basic functions. I mean, real basic functions. For me, I don't, Dan, you're kind of a lot, way along, 7,000.
I've got it. I have made it work using HamLive on the 73.
Yeah, well, I use the ham library too. If the best, for most radios,
Not FLRig.
come over here to the ham library, do the drop down, choose your radio,
And the COM port.
and then your COM port, and you're pretty much ready to go. This is going to be experimental depending upon what kind of radio you got.
Ron, question.
Sir,
How do you know which COM port you want to use? Do you have to look
you
at
have to go
the
look it
device
up.
manager?
You got to go on a service, yeah, you got to go on the
Device
device.
manager.
Find out where it's assigned. That's the only way you can find it.
Usually it's COM 3 or COM 4. Typically, you know.
Yeah.
It really depends on your computer, though. You have to look at device manager to be sure.
And what are you looking for?
Um,
What's it gonna say?
Yeah, because
It
it
depends
doesn't.
on your cable.
Yeah.
It depends on your
You're
cable.
looking for the cable that you got hooked up?
Yep.
Okay, that's what I want.
Sometimes if I'm trying to find one and I've got a lot of devices connected, I've got a lot of serial ports on there, unplug it.
Yeah, that's the
the
easiest
way to
way.
plug it back in.
You watch what disappears and you plug it back in and write it down.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Okay, then going over to audio, this is extremely important here. Now I've got nothing in here right now, but this is the signaling. I know it's going to pop up as a USB codec. Okay, and there it is right there. So I've got to put that in there.
Now, what if you don't use Signal Link?
Well, you have to, in most cases, it's gonna be USB codec something. Not always, okay? But you're gonna have to find out what your radio, or what your computer makes reference to for your radio.
Yeah, so your computer is gonna create, if you've got the computer connected directly,
Oh, that was
you
my
got
next-
the radio connected directly, it's gonna show up as a sound card with some name. This is that name. On the 7300, it shows up as USB codec.
Yeah.
So you have a USB connector on your 7300?
Yes.
Right,
Yes.
yeah. Most of the radios have a built-in sound card, it's gonna show up as USB codec,
Okay, all
almost always,
right.
okay? Then you wanna be sure you've got port audio over here. Normally that's a default, but just be sure that it is checked off, okay? And you come down here and be sure that your device supports full duplex, because it does. Be sure that's checked off and save it.
And let me throw in, the same
Sure, go
thing
ahead.
applies for the sound card as applied for the serial port, the COM port. If you don't know what it is, unplug the radio and look at Device Manager and see which sound card disappeared. Plug it back in and the sound card for your radio will show up again, and you just set that on the audio tab.
Now, a lot of this just takes, depending upon what your radio is, what your computer is, what you're using, how you're connected, a lot of that's determined just by hit and miss. And when you get everything configured to where you think it's going to work, or you want to see if it's going to work, of course, I know everybody has a dummy load.
Me,
Yeah.
I'm the dummy.
So they put your radio on dummy load, put on low power, and hit tune. On the upper right-hand corner, well, you can't see it, but it's right up here. Hit tune, and it'll send a tone over. The radio should go into transmit mode right away.
Ron, I have one question. I have this new radio and I'm a little unfamiliar.
Oh, your 5000,
Yeah, it's got what they call a cat connection,
Yeah,
a 9-pin, so that's the serial
but
port.
that's for rig control. Cat's rig control.
You don't have to use rig control to use Fldigi.
No,
That's good, because it's $200.
no. In fact, a lot of places better
Well,
not
you
to.
can, what it gives you is the same ability that you have with amateur contact lock, where you click on something in Fldigi and it tunes the radio.
So
What I've almost always done is just run the radio manually for Fldigi, put it on the frequency that I want, and then move back to Fldigi.
See, I don't think I have in fact, I know I don't have a USB port
Okay.
on my radio.
Well, you'll probably be using your either your auxiliary jack
So
or your
I have to buy a
microphone.
signal link.
But you don't,
You can run straight
No,
audio.
right,
That's what I thought. Okay,
you
From
can
your
still do
computer.
straight audio from it, yeah.
so it goes in
Signal
the
link
aux.
Signal link is a great
Well, I know that's
add-on.
another.
Well, you can go in through you can go in through your, even the older rigs that don't have any USB ports at all, you get a cable and go in through your microphone jack.
Yeah,
Now, the easiest way to find out how yours is going to be set up, is go to the Signal Link website
yeah, I can.
and
do
go
that.
find
I'm
your
just
radio
trying
and see
not
what
to-
cable they recommend.
Yeah, I was just trying to avoid getting another signal link because
Well, you don't have to.
is owned by somebody else now.
Ah, okay. All right. So we say that, and we're good to go there. Be sure again that the port audio block is checked off, and then your device supports full duplex is checked off. Okay. Now over here for ID, this is the Reed-Solomon Index. Dave Freeze, about 10 or 12 years ago, was getting a lot of complaints because everybody said, well, I'm seeing all these signals on the band, but I have no way of knowing what the heck they are because there's like 35 or 40 digital modes out there now. And it can be difficult to figure out the sound of each individual one. So he came up with something he calls the Reed-Solomon Index. And what this does, if you have it checked off on transmit, at the very beginning of the transmission, on the display you will see PSK31. And then the data will start to flow. But you've got to catch that guy right then. The minute he's coming on, you got to get him. You'll see the top of the display here start to turn yellow. You move your cursor over and pop it right on him, and then you'll pick up what mode he's in. Now, probably 99.9% of the operators out there, if you need to just don't use it. So, there you go. So it's a great tool, but like I say, hardly anybody ever uses it.
I've had it turned on and I've gone for months and never had anybody,
Yeah.
heard anybody send it.
Now for spotting, you just take the default there, don't worry about that. Your sweet spot, now the sweet spot default, he calls all these things modem, like CW is a modem, PSK31 is a modem, PSK125, all the digital modes, each one of those, he refers to that as a modem in the program. His default for any new modem that you start, if you change modes from PSK31 to Olivia, his default's going to be 1000. But you can come in here and you can change that if you want to whatever you want it to be for those 3 modes right there. Okay. As an example, on Sundays, the first month of the year, it's going to be PSK 125 for the digital net that's on 3853. 3853 upper sideband every Sunday. They take digital check-ins for the statewide Aries net.
That's upper sideband?
Yeah, it's upper sideband. The way digital's supposed to work is 160, 80, and 40 are lower sideband voice.
It's the same convention, isn't it? as-
No, it's not. They're upper sideband for digital.
Yeah, but not on the lower bands.
Yes.
You're right.
Yeah, that's the way it's supposed to be, okay? The upper band's 20 on up. It's upper sideband for voice. It's supposed to be lower sideband for digital. You get the greatest separation that way. You're already down 3 kc
Oh, yeah.
when it kicks you in. So that's why they do it that way. However, you're going to find most of your PSK, and today I was looking at some RTTY today, they were all on upper sideband. PSK 31 doesn't care. You can be upper or lower sideband as long as you can tune the signal in, it's going to copy it. But that's not so with RTTY. You've got to be in the proper, you've got to find what mode that, and a lot of guys that want to be private on RTTY, they want to fool you. They're going to go to the opposite mode. They're going to go, they're supposed to be on upper sideband, they're going to be on lower sideband.
But both ends of the transmission have to be the same.
That's correct. That's correct, okay? I don't play with that many different modes, but I made a special check for you today, Steve. I've done it before with RTTY as well. RTTY, we're going to do this in a minute as an experiment just to show you what it looks like. RTTY has 2 yellow bands going down the screen. And when your cursor, and I'll show you right now what it looks like real quick. Right now, this is PSK 31, and you see that little yellow lines there. If that was a signal coming over that radio right now, with PSK 31, you'd want to have the red lines on the outer rims of that yellow bar. You want everything that's yellow you want to contain within within the yellow cursor. That's not true with RTTY. With RTTY, you're still going to get the two yellow lines or the 2 red lines up there for your cursor. But what's going to happen is you have to have one red line on half the signal, the other red line on the other half of the signal. Then you're tuned it right in for RTTY. And over here, you're going to see your mark and space signals in perfect square waves. I'll explain that later. For those of you guys that are really going to be getting into the RTTY contest this weekend.
How do you turn that on?
What's that?
The thing in the bottom right.
Oh, go up here to configure.
That's your radar.
Well, basically, you're right. You're right.
Is that the weather radar?
I forget where he's put that now.
Signal radar.
Don't.
Yeah, that's a spectrum scope and a floating scope.
Yeah.
Go under view.
Okay.
You got it?
And it'll display different patterns for different.
Yeah, it does.
So,
Never seen.
Ron, are you connected to a radio right now?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so that's why we're seeing an 80-meter frequency there.
No, you're just, because it's just putting noise up there right now. That's all it's doing.
Well, where is the 3583 coming from?
It's just noise.
Noise.
It's just noise.
Oh,
Okay? Now, when you go to the web and call lookup, if you have a membership to QRZ.com or something, you can put your password, your call sign in there, whatever it is you needed. Click on QRZ, and when you click on this little globe up here, when you're receiving a signal coming in,
And look it up.
yes, it will. Okay. You will see a call sign come in down here. You just put the cursor on the call sign, left mouse click on the call sign. It'll put it right up in this window for you. Then you come over here, click on the global signal, and it'll put what part of the world the guy's in over here. Okay. Fill things in for you right there. I can't get on the web right now. I've forgotten what the web thing is here. I'll look at that open Xfinity thing I got. Okay. He's also added a new program which I just found out today. I've had a chance to play with yet. It's called DS Cluster. You've got to work with that to figure that one out a little bit. So you'll be on your own there. And he's got a logbook in here now. You'll notice he's got LOTW here. So you have to fill out this screen here. I don't know what data goes in there, but you can do that with LOTW. He's also got some of the N3FJ or HFP software in here too. All right, real quick. This is the best part of the program right here. You can pretend you're a JT65 operator or an FT8 operator down here, because you can make your whole QSO with these programmable buttons. Now let me close this up just a little bit here.
So Ron, are you saying that you can send and or receive almost any of the digital modes available today with Fldigi?
Every digital mode's out there you can receive with Fldigi. He's got every mode currently available out there.
So if you want to do digital, this is the hot setup.
Well, not only that, but it's free.
I don't mean to put it in vernacular.
It's, well, here, look, hang on a minute, let me show you. Okay. There's a contested modes right there, all the various modes in it.
Oh, that's...
Dominac, FSQ, okay. FSQ is kind of neat. I haven't had a chance to play with it that much yet. FSQ is the only digital mode that actually gives you a way to send a short, very, very short contact, 8, 9, 10 words, something like that, to a station, and only that station can receive and decode it.
So it's like ham radio.
It's called
texting.
it's call sign selected, and which is kind of neat, but it's very slow. That 6 on there stands for like 6 words a minute.
Oh.
Yeah, and if it's really a rough day, you get a 2 words a minute. Okay. So it's really slow, but like I say, it is call sign selective. So if you put in there, this is the go-to K4BBH, and there's 9,000 people listening on that frequency, your program is the only one that will decode that information.
But of course, I have to know that he's there.
Yes. Well, he knows you're there because he can see you on a screen.
Oh, of course.
Okay. That's part of it. But yeah, there is almost every mode that's out there currently in digital is in this program. This program also is great for a very low power PC because it has very, very low overhead on resources.
Ah.
Very, very, HRD, I don't know how many of you guys use HRD. HRD was probably the first one out there, and it was really a super program. But it just got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And now you have to have like a machine with 2 or 3 gigabytes of RAM just to run the darn thing.
Need a gaming machine.
Yeah, it's huge. But this program here, this program will run just as fast on 128K of memory as it will on a machine with 5 meg or even 5 gig. It's very, very low overhead. And the reason it is because it's compartmentalized. You've got the main program. It's completely isolated from everything else. If you want to run FL Message is a totally different program. It links into Fldigi with all the information, all the forms, but it doesn't take up as much space either. The nicest part, fellows, about and ladies, about FL Message, and I will show you that real quick.
Ron, you said on that main screen, the brown buttons and the other buttons along the middle.
We're going to do that. We're going to program it for you.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to do that, okay? This is what's nice about this piece of software here. We can give this to anybody and have them go in there and fill out a form. If I were to come down here to, I can find one.
In the middle.
Oh, hand forms, really? Okay. radiogram, okay. What's neat about this, I come in here and say,
Yeah, we know, the quick brown font.
okay, now watch this, watch. I'm gonna put a period in here,
Shut off your age, Ron.
okay? Right, all right. Now I got it, here we go.
You learned how to do that on a Underwood manual.
Okay, you go up here to click on check, it changes everything to uppercase letters for you, it takes the period out, okay? Takes the period out, and tells you how many words are in that document, because when you're sending traffic information, using an AIL radiogram, people say, well, how many words do I have? Do I count spaces? Do I count this? Do I count my periods? You have to worry about that. You just type it in there, come up here, click on check, and it will tell you how many words you've got.
Does it count the period if you have more than one sentence?
Well, this one didn't do it, which is a bug in this new version. It puts an X there for X-ray.
Yeah.
It puts an X there for X-ray. Okay, very good. Let's get back to this. Now, these buttons down here, I'm going to show you this. Now, CQ, most of the bottom, well, the first row comes configured automatically except for the Aries check-in file. I created that one. Your right mouse click on your button. Come over here. The first thing you're going to want to do, of course, when you click on your button, you're going to want to switch the program from receive to transmit. So you just simply come over here and you go down the row. You disturb me there. Until you find transmit. It's in there. And when you find transmit, which is here, you highlight it, come up here, click on the green arrow, and that will move it over to the left side for you. All right? Then you come over here, and you can manually type in CQ space, CQ space, CQ space, and then you put in the DE, and then you come back up over, come over this side, and you go look for my call. When you find my call, you will highlight it, come up to the green arrow, and move it over there.
Now, that's being transmitted in whatever mode you.
Whatever mode you're going to, yeah, whatever mode you're running.
Okay.
Okay, whatever mode you're running is going to go. So this weekend, if you're an RTTY, that's what's going to happen when you click on that button. It's going to send that out.
But you have to, obviously, you have to pre-configure.
Well, yeah,
what you're running.
you've
Now,
got to set it up.
Just a quick question. You've got 3 colors of buttons there. What's significant about that?
What 3 colors? Oh, here?
Yeah.
It's just that that's the default colors. You can make them any color you want.
Okay, why are they color-coded?
Just so that I know over here, I'm making an inquiry. This is a brag area or station information area over here.
Oh, they're different
Yeah.
commands.
Because
I'm
it is an
sorry.
Aries check-in. I've named that block Aries check-in. If I bring that one up, when I click on that button, it's going to transmit my call twice. Then I've typed in my name, what my title is for the net I'm checking into, and then I have to go back to receive.
Yours will all be brown, Dave, because they're all bright.
Okay.
Okay, so basically again, all you come over, you pick your button, okay? That's an example. Let's come over here and pick a blank button, okay? We're gonna come over here to, boy, I'll tell you, I gotta get used to these darn things. All right, let's put this over here. There goes that one. I'm gonna put a space in there. Then I'm gonna go down here and see if I can find my call.
So those buttons are all programmable.
Oh, absolutely.
Different commands.
And you got 4 rows of them. You're only seeing 2 right now, but you got 4 rows of them.
And you can put whatever label you want in it.
Absolutely.
That's the other thing, you can label it whatever you want, whatever color you want, make it do whatever you want.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's very nice. Okay.
Move this over here, just say name, and we'll put a space in there. Put a space in, we'll move name over again. Okay?
Now, the other thing, it draws that name and my call and all that stuff from your initial setup.
That's,
Gotcha.
you're stealing my thunder, but that's great. Okay, that's right.
Your timing.
That's
You don't
why,
have to type it in.
that's why when
All
you,
you gotta do is say name.
right, when you fill out that configuration screen,
When you put-
that's why you do it.
Ron there, it's gonna automatically say Ron.
There you go.
That
That's
all makes
exactly.
sense. I mean,
Yeah.
that's all.
But that's where that comes from.
Gotcha.
Okay, that's where all that comes from. Okay? So when I click on the button, the first thing it's gonna do is put the radio in transmit mode. It's gonna say name, whatever, okay? Now, what's even nicer about this, and we're gonna do this in a minute when we send a transmission back and forth. When Dan sends me a message, his call sign is gonna pop up down here. I'm gonna click on his call sign, it's gonna pop it in right here. So when you're making up one of those buttons down there, you can put in call, space call, and it will automatically go back in response and pull the call sign off the top.
Ah,
So when you respond back to your contact, you don't have to type it in. Okay? Here's an answer one here. See, there's transmit, it goes call, this is my call, and back to receive again.
so the call is the person you want to talk to.
Well, yeah, and that's up here,
Where-
right there.
Oh, now
See,
how did that get there?
Because when you're over here in the receive panel,
Ah.
when you
yeah,
see his
yeah,
call
got
sign,
it, got it.
when you
Got it.
see his call sign pop up,
Like
Okay.
I clicked on yours call sign, Dave.
yeah, you click on the call sign, right in the middle of the call sign, and it's gonna pop up right here.
Oh, I see.
That's where it's gonna pop up,
So
okay?
that's how it flows.
That's how it gets
The
there.
data flows.
Okay? So when you wanna make up your answer button, you just go put the program back in transmit, go call, it pulls the call that you put in up here automatically by clicking on it, then you put the DE in there, and then you say, well, I gotta tell him my call too, so you put your call in there 3 times, put a space between them, and then go back to receive mode. Okay? And that's for your QSO. When you go back and forth, you're typing in something on the keyboard, you're having a conversation. When you're all done doing that, you just simply come over here and you click on the QSO button. It puts the program in transmit and sends his call and then your call. So you don't have to type it back in again.
And then whatever you type,
Right.
then you can type it, but then you have to turn it off, right?
Yep.
You have
Yeah,
to
go
put it
back
back
to
in
receive
receive.
mode.
Yeah, well, unless you put receive back in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ah.
You have to,
Now if I come over here, I put a space in there, and I come down here and find that darn receive button.
But on this one, you don't want to do that.
yeah, but I think, right,
Why
I think
not?
on this one you don't.
Because you're going to type a message to him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
It's
well,
gonna
yeah.
go to the
Then you go over and
message.
you hit the
But-
receive
but-
button over
but-
on the right.
But if you had a standard response
Oh, yeah.
in a normal QSO.
Yeah, then you can
could
put it back, you
program
do that, put it back in
key and
receive.
go- Okay.
Yeah, put it back
Oh,
in
so
receive.
it's very flexible then.
Yeah.
This one,
Whatever
is
you want to
if
put in
you're
there.
chatting. You're just chatting with somebody and you're
Got- yeah, yeah.
typing the message back and forth.
Gotcha.
So you do that, then you come down to the bottom right to TR and turn off transmit.
There's your brag file.
What's that all about?
That's where you're talking about the station you've got. You've got my call, my name, your vintage, your rig, your power, your antenna.
My vintage? My vintage? That's very nice, Ron. Very polite way to put it. That I'm old.
I'll just put old right
Yeah,
there.
I like that better, Steve. Let's just call it like it is.
Yeah, put old.
But there's, again, that button there, that's already pre-set up, okay?
What's the CS?
Where do you see a CS?
OS.
OS, operating system.
Never mind.
Operating, a lot of guys put in there, like, he put in there Windows 10. That's what he put in there.
Back up to old.
Back up to old.
Old sucker, man.
Not Windows 3.1.
DOS.
Yeah, DOS. There you go. All right, this is my Aries check-in here. You've seen that before.
Once you start using this program, you'll find it incredibly easy to
Yeah,
get
it's-
around it.
Oh,
It'll
yeah.
just take you about 2 minutes to get used to the way it's laid out there. Once you throw in a few things, you'll say, man, it's a piece of cake.
So let me just ask a real dumb question. It seems to me, from what I'm hearing, is this is the only program you need if you want to work digital.
That's right.
Exactly.
Fair
Exactly.
statement?
That's all you need.
Okay.
And it's got, and the nice part about it is. Okay. Yeah, you've been on the phone more hours than this thing. But, yeah, and that's the nicest part about it. It's very, very low overhead. It's very simple to use. It's not hard at all. And, but you want to download FL Message as well, and learn to use that a little bit. He has put a feature in here, well, primarily in the FL Message program, there's another program that goes with this, he's written, it's called FLWrap. And it used to be, in order to send a form, you'd have to click on FLWrap, go to your file, wrap the darn thing, then go back into the Fldigi and then send it. And sometimes, if it didn't get exactly right, it wouldn't go properly. So what he has done, within the FL message program, he has put an auto send feature.
Ron, can you give me one, Chuck? So you some time ago set me up to run JT65. This will also run JT65?
I don't think.
I think JT65 and JT8 or FT8 those are special forms of
That's a special
program
protocol.
because they're time dependent.
Right, they will not run JT65, FT, or JT9, or
Yeah.
FT8, or any of those. Those are, like you said, those are a very, very specialized protocol.
Yeah,
They
they're
have to
time
figure out
dependent.
how to put it in here, because
We
those
got
are
a
pro
two-digital
forma
program.
messages.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can deal with this.
Well, your JT65 and FT8 aren't, they're like even minute, odd minute type things, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
This program is not that way.
You gotta do it in microseconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, that's,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, this program is used internationally, and I mean seriously internationally. You'll notice that when I brought up FL Message, they had Red Cross forms in there and Hicks forms in there. Those forms are used worldwide. Dave Freeze and a couple other guys that work with him, they get emails or requests from the American Red Cross, the International Red Cross, which is a different organization actually. Requested him to put in certain forms. The federal government has asked him to put in the ICS 205 and 205A form and a couple of the other NIMS forms as well. Because this is the program that if you have to go out to assist any of those organizations, that's what you'll be using. You'll be using nothing else but that.
I see.
Is that all that's in there, is the 205, 205A?
No,
Oh,
there's
no,
more in there than that.
it's a whole long
No.
list of stuff.
Those are the forms that you always,
Those are the most commonly used forms.
but those are forms that you normally request when we check in on the different modes.
The 205 is for the communications.
Yeah.
But it'll have like all the way from 201.
There you are, right there. There they are. You got the
Most
203,
common
205,
ones used
206,
in
213, 214. Those are the ones most commonly used during an event, a NIMS event, an event involving FEMA or GMA.
Yep.
Okay?
Dave, you want to tell them what NIM stands for?
Plain text.
National Incident Management System.
And that is national throughout the United States.
Oh, yeah, Red Cross program.
Plain text is.
But you've got Red Cross forms in here?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure is.
I mean, military forms.
IC2, that's what.
There's your hospital forms right there.
I don't want to detour too far off here.
No, that's right, but that's why it's used, because all these things interface with Fldigi seamlessly. Okay?
Except for the JTs.
Yeah, well, again, those are specialized programs. Those are very specialized programs. Okay. Dan, you want to, let's see if you can send me something. Just send me a CQ, let me see if I can receive it.
You, PSK 30.
Let's see if it'll work.
Now.
Where are you set up, with
Time out,
1,000?
time
Yeah,
out.
1,000.
Are you, wait, Dan, are you sending him something over RF?
Yes.
On 146,520.
146,580.
Okay, so,
80.
Yeah.
okay,
Wrong
so
side of the
that's FM.
But it can also be, it could also be single sideband. Plug it into an HF rig and it's single side. You can do the same thing on
Okay,
HF.
so-
We're using HF, we're using FM.
It's much easier to teach people how to use this program on VHF.
Yeah, because it's, yeah.
Well, one more important thing real quick, especially for you guys this weekend. Down here, you'll see the AFC button. You want to turn that off, especially when you're running contest mode. You want your AFC turned off because you don't want your cursor changing all by itself.
Okay, now,
Turn your
this
volume
question
up.
is, Dan, how come we still see 3583 up there?
No, don't worry about that, that's just noise.
Ignore that.
That really bothers you, doesn't it?
Yeah, but
Don't
it's
worry
in
about
big-
it.
but
When you
it's
got
in
this plugged
big
into your
block
radio, you won't
letters.
see it.
Dave, ignore that unless you're using rig control.
I'm sorry?
If you're using
There.
rig control,
You don't have
that's
to worry
where
about
that
it.
comes in. If
Oh.
we're not using rig control, we're not coupled, it's not talking.
Well, the other
If
time you
use
gotta
rig
worry
control,
about
we're
it though
not.
is if you're logging it to Logbook of the World.
That's right.
You gotta have the right frequency up there or you
So,
don't.
so how do you know that you're, okay, how did
Okay.
you actually connect? I mean, how do you know,
You're on- Well, they coordinated their frequency.
We talked before the meeting.
oh,
We knew that we were gonna use this frequency. There are areas in the HF band where PSK 31
no, I understand that.
goes
So
there.
where did you tune him in?
What do you mean, where?
Where in the program?
I asked him, I said, Dan, where are you gonna be on the waterfall?
Yeah.
He said, I'm gonna be on 1,000,
Oh,
all right? So down here, you'll see this. You can fine tune that by clicking this arrow down here.
But Ron, if you didn't know that, your waterfall would still show up.
Well,
Yes, it will.
So stay where you're at, Ron.
Absolutely.
Stay where you're at,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna move.
Yeah.
All right?
You stay on 1,000.
I'm gonna stay on 1,000, but
wait,
you gotta be quick.
Now you see where it's
oh, okay.
He's there.
Now if you click on it,
And you click on it.
Now click on it, and I'm gonna pick him up now.
You click on it.
Now watch this, watch. See, his call sign popped up here,
Yes.
okay?
That's automatic?
That's
Yeah.
automatic. All you gotta do is put your cursor in the middle of his call sign and click on it, and it'll pop it right up there for you.
Okay, so
If
now
you're
you
logged into
respond.
QRT, it'll populate the rest of that.
So
Right.
you're gonna respond. No, you're not sending CQ. He's, oh no, okay.
There you go, Dan.
And I'm copying. You don't see it, but look.
All right, so just to show, all right, now let's go to RTTY on the next one. RTTY 45. RTTY 45 is which is referred to as amateur radio RTTY. Okay? 50 to 75, narrow and wide, are considered commercial. Now, where are you at now?
I'm
Well,
on,
just stay where you were.
I'm on,
Yeah, about 1,200.
I can get it probably. Okay.
All right, go ahead and send it.
Oh, that's familiar.
That sound familiar to people that tuned the band?
Now
Yeah.
see, each red line is right in the middle of his yellow bar. That's where it should be.
You're not decoding.
And look, at the lower right-hand corner of the screen, you can see the square wave popping up.
Oh, yes.
You didn't decode me that time.
Don't you need to move the yellow cursor over there?
No, I already did. The yellow cursor, when you click on it, it becomes red, and that's where it's locked in, okay?
Oh, I see.
All right?
So he would go to slide up to those two lines.
I come over here,
Come up to right there.
put that right on there, and I got him.
Oh, I see. It moved
Okay.
over and locked into it.
All right, now, if you're off a little bit and you just, I don't know, your hands are nervous or whatever, you've been smoking too much that day, had too much coffee, you come down there, click on AFC, turn it on, and it'll hone it right in for you. Okay? The drawback to AFC is, if you leave it on, and somebody else comes over and they're right here, it may want to drift over them,
Yes.
okay?
Okay, for the newbies, AFC stands for Automatic Frequency Control.
Yep.
So, Ron, do you have to set any kind of receive settings on that signal link, or you got?
Nope.
Set up?
Well, on the signal link, you see how the blue background is right now? I don't know if I can make it an eternal yellow. No, it doesn't do it that well. You're right there. That's too high.
Too much noise.
Too much noise is in
Oh,
there.
yeah.
So you want to turn your receive gain back until you just about get rid of all that yellow. Now the only trouble with a signal link is those pots are not linear. At 9 o'clock, it's about 65% open. Between 9 and 11, it's wide open. So it can be either at 12 o'clock or all the way open, doesn't matter. But once you hit 12 o'clock, it's wide open.
Otherwise, when you
And what about your gain control and radios? Is it affected here? If you have the AGC on your radio, do you have to
Because I
make
do
sure
a
that
lot
you're
Well,
then I gotta.
Your line out, your radio is preset, you've got no control over that. Your radio is fixed, it's got a fixed output. When you're in digital mode, if you've got a 6-pin main jack in the back of your radio, that's a fixed output, you have no control over it. It's just like a line in or a
Just remember from dealing with the ham radio deluxe part of it, you had to make sure your AGC was set to certain values.
Okay, when ham radio deluxe, I don't know what version you've got, but and that was true up to, in his software, you have to turn his software down. Okay? Because he's got a sound software built into his software. FLDigi does not.
This does have some gain control, but you gotta be careful playing with it or you can knock the signal out entirely.
They always, they tell you, in fact, what I do here, my volume is always up. Never bothers it. Okay. I let the signal control it. It's just like when you set your transmitter up, you don't want to have any ALC show up on your meter at all. Because the minute ALC kicks in, it distorts the signal.
That's projected over there.
I was saying the wrong thing, ALC.
Yeah, your ALC, when you don't have any ALC transmitting at all, you interfere with the signal. Your ALC is going to mess up the linearity of your amplifier and transmitter. So you don't want that to happen. So that's another reason why you keep your power down to 25 and 35 watts.
Move the projector forward.
Another reason is when you're doing digital mode, you're at a 100% duty cycle.
Yeah, so you.
Unless you like to have multiple radios being burned up all the time. You want to keep your power down to 25 to 35 watts. Most radios will not start using the ALC kicking in until about 25 to 30 watts. About 30 watts, you might see it start to flicker a little bit.
But for general purposes, that's enough power on that.
That's
In
one
digital mode, it's like 100 watts.
Another nice thing about digital modes is, well, like, I run the HF gateway for packet as well at my house. And I can't even hear the signals. I've got an S9 noise level at my house. I can't even hear the radio signal. But that computer's just sitting there and just decoding word for word, not missing a blink. And you can't even hear it. Okay? You can't even hear, all I've got is noise coming over the radio. But yet I can hear it, I can see it on the screen, it'll come up and it'll say, K4SLC logged on. And it'll give you your timestamp for you. So I know you're logged on, so I can go turn my volume up on the receiver, I can't even hear you. But that computer's sitting there and decoding every single thing you're sending, not missing a beat.
I got a noisy ballast in my basement. I found it on the new radio. The son would
Yes.
turn the lights on, it like before.
Okay, great. Turn the light out. Good deal. Okay, so there you go. So that's RTTY. That's what you want to listen for. Now your RTTY signals are going to start. RTTY starts around 14.080. 14.080 is where a lot of your RTTY is going to be this weekend. From there, all the way up to about 110, 115. Your PSK 31 starts at 14.070.
Yeah, 7.4,
Okay,
7.4.
and then around 7.3, 7.4, 7.5 is where JT65 and MT8 start kicking in.
Oh, that's what I'm hearing, yeah.
Okay.
FT8 starts at 74 and 65.
Right.
.76.
There you go. There's the man, he knows them.
Hey, Steve, that's a good, you brought up something.
So
Is- is
everything's
this-
real close
is this-
together.
Is this grid contest, it doesn't matter what mode?
Don't matter what mode.
Oh, my gosh.
Digital voice, it's gonna get signal.
Open season.
Yeah, man.
Make contacts, send them to LOTW. I'm telling you.
That's
Yeah,
it.
you're right.
That's all there is.
Now,
It's like the Centennial thing 2 years ago.
Oh, right.
Kind of national park.
Yeah. Make contacts, send them to LOTW.
okay, now Dave, I'm going to come up here under view. Now watch this, Dave. Now you got 4 rows of buttons you can program.
Oh, buttons, man. Cool.
Yeah, 4 rows of buttons you can program.
Right.
Yeah.
We all fell out of our chairs laughing at Dave's brag buttons.
Yeah.
What are the blue buttons?
What is this with this brag
Designated.
buttons crap? What is it?
This is what you see.
I don't
It's like
think,
closing out the QSO, isn't it?
Well, they can
Say
be, no.
guys.
This is a different set of transmit buttons that I put over here.
I don't think the colors mean anything. I think it's
No,
just
it's
splitting those up.
just, they bring
It's just
whatever you assign
for
seating to them.
Find that easier
Right.
than
Yeah.
a whole row
Right.
of the same
Yeah,
color.
and
Yeah.
see, for instance, the ones that don't have anything are blank.
Yeah.
So you could go into one of the others that's already set up, copy,
And
then
just
edit
use one color at a
blank
time.
and paste your own, and then build your
Yeah.
own stuff. So the colors are just a way to help split it up, to help you find things.
Now, can you, they work for all modes.
Yes.
They're good for all modes, yeah.
Can you split line 1 and 2 one color, line 3 and 4 another color?
Oh,
Yeah.
It's just ass.
Yeah, if that's what you want to do. Well, no,
I don't
no, you can control each column, each set of them you can control, okay? You can control this section from here to here, this section from here to here, and this section from here to here.
But
okay?
not the
Like-
individual
No,
lines?
not individual rows, no, okay.
Let's do some other weird modes, Ron.
All right,
Let's do
Olivia?
what do you want to do, Olivia?
Yeah, let's do
I
Olivia.
heard you mention.
What's that? Whoa,
Oh,
whoa, whoa.
where do you hear this, Dave? This will blow your mind.
You're gonna do, what, 250?
Olivia, let's do 250.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, listen to this.
What defines these different modes? Is it just a different modulator?
Well, no,
Different-
it depends upon weather conditions.
Oh,
MT63 as an example is used by Mars.
Is that Olivia?
Yeah,
Oh, I thought someone stepped on a pen.
it's Olivia 250. It's Olivia 250.
Goes away.
so are there certain conventions where one would choose one mode over another? Is there certain, I prefer this mode under these conditions or this mode under that condition?
Absolutely.
So what's the general criteria for that?
There's a club up in Pennsylvania that has found out that MT63 is far superior to all the other modes for sending digital information in mountainous terrain and extremely poor weather conditions.
So somebody's done some empirical data.
They've done it over the last 7 years. They've played with this stuff every single day. And they found out that with the kind of terrain they've got up in Pennsylvania, the best thing for them to use is MT63. It has the least amount of fluctuation, the highest degree of reliability.
Reliability.
But MT63 buffers the first 20 seconds. In other words, you hear all this noise going on, and you don't see anything on the waterfall. Nothing. And all of a sudden, boom, it pops up and starts decoding. And then all of a sudden, everything goes, you don't hear anything coming on over here, and the program's still decoding it. Because the program has buffered 20 seconds of it.
Now, what's the benefit of that? Is
It's
there-
just reliability, that's all.
Forward
That's the way
I'm sorry?
MT63 works.
Forward,
Sir,
I can expand
It
on that
has
a
more
little
time to
bit.
process,
Dave,
decipher, and
Dave,
I can expand on that a little bit for Dave and some of the newcomers. You wonder why we have PSK 63, FT8, Olivia, and all the rest of these.
yes.
Basically, all of today's communications have pretty much evolved from ham radio folks somewhere along the line a long time ago. And what they are, they're a bunch of little groups that say, hey, you know, they're brilliant guys. They come up with this idea and say, let's try this modulation. And it gets started going around. Next thing you know, they find out that two of the hams live up in the mountains and say, man, this works better than anything else. So here we got MT63. It's just like FT8. FT8's a weak signal protocol. They found out that bouncing it off the moon, and I used to do moon bounce many, many years ago, just putting out a beacon and wait 6 months for somebody to acknowledge that they heard me. But, you know, with FT8, JT65, and JT9 now, they can actually carry on communications, two-way communications that way. You know, basically what it is a bunch of hams experimenting with stuff, finding out what works and what don't work, and then saying, oh, well, let's call this Olivia. or let's call this
Oh,
MT63.
thank you, Chad, that's clarified a whole lot, yeah.
So, and that's.
So it's just gone through a process of
Evolution.
of evolution and what works, and then it eventually becomes sort of a standard, I guess.
Yeah, almost all our military communications is evolved from ham radio operators.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
that's
MT-63
interesting.
is actually used in the military today.
So I hope that clears it up.
That's
When all
great.
else
Inform
fails,
some
you
of
have
the new folks a little bit about that.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
And then
That's
some,
true, you don't need any computer for that.
Let's do a different. do
Try
Thor.
Thor 4.
Thor.
Oh,
Thor 4. THOR 4.
I don't know if it's still on the Silver Comet site, but there have been a couple of messages put out with examples of all these signals. Do
It's
you know
on.
if it's still on there?
Yeah.
So
On
if
the
you really
digital
want to know
mode.
what you're hearing out here, go to the website and look up that message that says digital signal sounds or something. I think forget what I.
Oh, I see, so you got examples of different modes and what they sound like. Yeah, because when you're tuning around, you hear a lot of that, you know.
And you just thought your oscillator was bad.
Yeah, but see how long it's taking to say just CQ?
It's taking quite a while.
I think one of the neatest ones ever out there was ARQ. It sounded like a field of crickets.
ARQ.
Remember the ARQ?
All right, so
Oh,
Ron, now
the
here's
faster
the
one
one,
did
you
change.
made a comment, you said, see how long this is taking.
Yeah.
Well, common sense would tell me, if something takes longer, usually, that means it's more reliable.
That's correct.
In this
And
format.
that's why they do it.
Okay,
That's why they do it.
so,
Because the rate, as an example, in PSK 31, I don't know exactly what it is anymore, but each character is broken up into so many segments. Like the letter T,
yeah,
as an example, just here for the fun of it, it's not the way it is. The letter T is broken up into 21 segments. If you receive 11 of those, the program can say, that's a T.
gotcha.
Okay?
Wouldn't it be
It doesn't
easier
matter
just-
which 11 it receives, as long as it receives 11 of them.
But wouldn't it be easier just to send a DAW?
But suppose you missed it. Suppose you missed that dot. You just missed the letter E.
T, not
Yeah.
I'm just being clown.
I just changed it to Thor 22.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. See, there we
Yeah.
go. Let's switch. Let me see if I can change you.
You did
we're
change
using-
me. You
we're
did
using
change me.
I'm going to change it to PSK. Just stay where you are.
Okay.
I'm going to go to PSK 250.
All right.
And we'll show
Well, that may be,
if
that
you
may
got
be,
good
that may be
conditions.
really quick. That's gonna be
See how
fast.
fast it'll go.
That's gonna be fast.
Now, while you're doing that, let's say I'm tuning around.
Oh, wow.
Jeez.
Now,
Man, that was quick.
he changed my software. I didn't touch my screen at all.
Because we
your
have,
call signs are.
No, because I've got receive
These-
ID on.
I'm transmitting my ID at the beginning.
Right.
And he's receiving, so I'm at the very beginning, I'm telling him the mode I'm using.
Ah, gotcha.
Neat program, isn't it?
Do
Wow.
PSK 31, because that's slower and you can probably
Yeah,
hear
do
that
PSK,
tone.
but
It's like I don't have enough to do already.
Yes.
Okay, Dave, look, here, watch. See that, that's where he is right there. Okay, change your mode again.
I'm gonna go to,
Right there's where he is. That's what he's doing right now, okay?
I'm gonna go.
Now, I've got my receive ID turned on.
And pick it up.
Did not
And
get
I
it.
didn't pick it up.
Right where your cursor is, it should have changed.
Let me try it again. It's not doing it. I didn't do it.
Seemed to be long enough, should have picked it up.
It's only good for one time.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, it's because Dave is watching. That's the whole problem.
You
Let's
put
go
your
to-
quarter in?
Let's go to something a little different. We'll go to,
Well, hang on, wait a minute. Let me see if my program's locked up. That may be the whole problem there.
Deposit 25 cents.
There it is. Okay, it went that time. That's
I'm gonna just pick one at random.
all right.
That was it.
There you go.
He's doing Thor 4 again.
Notice the waveform on the right-hand bottom side.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, it tells you right down here what mode it is.
Where?
Right down
Barely
here. See what
moving.
it's doing?
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
That's the THO 34?
That's
Throb.
Thor.
Throb.
Oh, it's Rob B, okay.
Throb 4.
And you can see over here,
John, this is basic for you.
on the waterfall, he's transmitting on 998.
Got another computer.
Now, you've also got to remember, this program is designed for HF, it's not designed for VHF.
It's all right.
But when we had the training net, a lot of you folks weren't around, well, some of you were, but a lot of you probably were not. A few years back, we got everybody on the repeater, and we'd have the regular Thursday night net, and we would get on there, and we were teaching people how to use Fldigi and FL message.
And that's the last time I did an FLDG communication.
And we did that because we were trying to get more people interested in going out on this FEMA and GMA exercise in May for 4 days. Okay? Because they have people there from University of Georgia, and they have FEMA people there and GMA people there, and they come around and they evaluate each team. You're given a little task to do. They say, okay, you do it. They might come around and say, well, as an example, last time we did it, I think John was there. They came around and told the MCV that we were supporting, the big bus, that they lost all their power, and they had to send a message over to the control center. And they couldn't do it because they didn't have any battery backup. So they came over to us, and all we did, and they came over and said, well, shut your generator down.
He pulls out batteries.
And I pulled the battery out, put it on the shelf, plug everything in, start the power switch on, we're ready to go. And I said, what do you want to do? And they sent two other evaluators around to examine our trailer. Because they just couldn't believe that the amount of flexibility we had in a box so small.
Yeah.
Our trailer, all right, somebody send Morse code.
The original.
The original code.
Why isn't it deciphering it?
Because he didn't send any ID on
There
that.
you go.
It's not sending the ID
Because
right.
nobody can read
Yeah, it doesn't understand.
such views.
Oh, it's pretty good. That's about 15.
So if you ever want to participate in the CW contest, here you go.
Oh, 18.
Okay.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, there's receiving it.
1200 has a decoder on it if you get the additional.
18 words a minute.
Oh, gee, I'm copying faster than I thought.
Yeah, it's not always 10. There he is. That was PSK 1000.
Yeah, robust. Do it again. Watch how fast it is at 1,000.
Takes a little Russian on the end of the line there.
Now, can you? I can see that you can decode Morse code. Can you send it with this program? Can you type
Yeah,
it?
from your keyboard, sure.
Huh?
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
He's sending it.
You just, all you got to do,
He's typing it in.
yeah, that's how he was doing it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, just an example, when you're having a QSO, you're not clicking on these buttons. Well, you shouldn't be clicking on these buttons. You should be typing from the keyboard. As an example, like that.
Is that there's settings in there?
Oh, that's why we're hearing a little chirp
Typing this.
in there. That's between characters.
What are you doing, CW again, right?
Yeah, but I'm typing
Yeah.
and it's translating and it's sending it as
Okay,
it looks
well,
like 18
well.
is set to 18 words per minute.
Can you set the speed?
Yes.
His signal.
What do you want it to be?
As long as you can type that fast, huh?
Yeah. But if I come down here and I start typing,
Oh, man. See, I haven't done CW.
and this is the way you would do it.
Oh, that's.
So you have to turn on transfer.
You put it, you get it all up there, you type out the message the way you want it, then you simply come down here and transmit it.
Because you get more points.
Yeah.
You get twice the point.
Oh, and it's changing the color of the letter.
Yeah, this is the transmit section down here, that's the receive section up there.
Ron,
Yeah.
transmit,
Yeah, but this won't.
hit this, and then just start typing. And
Well, you can do that too. Yeah.
That's what I was doing. And
Yeah.
one of those macros does that. You can turn on one of the macros, it puts it in transmit mode, it puts
Right.
a call sign, and then you just sit and type.
Yep.
Yeah,
I think
okay.
Answer
During a
does that.
contest, that's pretty hard to
Well,
do.
it doesn't kick it back to receive.
Right,
Yeah.
but I
I
just.
think it's
hit
I think
transmit
QSO
now.
does that,
And
yeah.
you start
It
typing.
stays out, it stays in transmit mode on that one.
Let's go back for just a second, Ron, to PSK. There's something really, I'm gonna go to PSK 31
PSK 31, hang on a second.
and both switch to that. I'm gonna put the transmit
I'm
mode.
on 1000, where are you?
I'm on 1000. So I'm gonna go to transmit mode. And then,
Yeah, that's how I have it.
This is the receive section, this is the transmit section down here.
Ah, good.
why is it not showing up?
It is.
It's in yellow.
Do you see?
Says
Okay,
is a
okay,
test
I see,
at
that
the
was in the
top.
wrong place. But I can also, does it let me correct?
Yeah, if you're typing, you can hit the backspace and it goes correct.
See how it's doing that? So I'm
Oh,
just-
very slick.
Also, like I say, you can change the font size on this.
It's the only time you can take back what you say.
That's right.
It's about right. Even after you probably said
So
it.
then when I finish that, I'll turn off transmit on the bottom right.
But what's happened, the PSK 31, the speed of PSK 31 is supposedly the average speed that a person can type. They say the average person can type 30 words a minute.
I was gonna say 25 to 30.
Yeah, 30 words a minute. That's why they said it at that rate.
And PSK stands for
Phase
Papa
shift.
Sierra
Okay,
Key.
phase shift key.
Phase shift key.
Blew the curve, did you?
I was being sarcastic. What else is new, right?
Now, this is the program you use on Thursday nights to send forms, right? No.
Oh, okay.
We use RMS Express for that.
Pretty fast type.
That's in a different software program.
Okay.
Can you send forms in?
Sure. FL messages, that's the program for forms.
You want to send a form, Ron?
You want to send one? I think I can go open up FL message.
You want to send it or you want me to send it?
No, you send so they can see it on the screen. In fact, you send it. I'm going to turn this back off. I'm going to see if I've got it configured right to make this thing. Now, I do not have FL message set to open, well, it's not running right now. And I believe I've got this thing programmed so that when the program will sense the fact that it's going to be receiving a form, it will open up FL message automatically and populate the form.
Cool. Very cool.
I cannot start.
The program can do it and it works very well. You can also go into this program.
Are we going to stay on PSK 31?
Yeah, please. You can also configure, I'm going to leave my squelch on. That way I'll get everything. What else?
Anybody wants to see me typing messages?
What are you going to fill out, 213 real quick?
Yeah.
Now this little bar over here, this is your squelch bar. You can set this to any level you want. The higher up you set it, the stronger your signal is going to be on receive. So that means this green bar that rides up and down in here has got to go all the way up to here above it before you're going to receive anything. So normally you keep this little bugger set right about in the middle
That's the.
of that TR, of the height of the TR button right here. All right. That way, if you turn
Pretty
squelch
sensitive.
on, once squelch is turned on, like it is now, okay, you won't get any garbage across your screen.
So I brought up FL message and just filled out the form, and I'm going to hit
Auto send.
auto send on it. And it's going to save file and then go into transmit. That looks like it's getting some garbage.
You're 8 BBSK 1000?
Yeah, I didn't know I did that. Sorry.
That's okay.
Wow.
So that's, you set that.
What did you send me?
I set that in, we need to kill it.
And let's go back, let's
Ron,
go.
change back to PSK 31 on the bottom.
There we
I
go.
I had PSK 1000 set in FL message.
All right. Oh, I can't, it won't let me set it back until you stop transmitting, okay? Every time I try to change it, it puts it back up.
I'm not transmitting.
It's buffered, man, big time, there you go.
I'm not transmitting.
There you go, stop, man. That was awesome.
It was useful. That was a government document.
We should have guessed that.
In plain English.
That's right.
The election results?
Okay, one more time.
Dan, they'll put you in
Now,
jail.
we're on 1,000 on the waterfall, right?
One,
Nothing on 1,000.
it's gone back to,
And BBSK 31 at 1,000 on the waterfall. Let's see if it'll open up automatically. I think I've still got that configured properly.
and it's 20,000. Okay. One more time, more intelligent.
My thumb's good. Radar wigging.
You see where it says wrap up there, Dave?
Yeah,
It's automatically opened up the wrap program all by itself.
That's the language for the form, I can read it from here.
That's it's the headers that make up the form. That's stuff that tells FL message what to do with
the text.
It tells it what form to populate.
Right.
All he's actually sending is the header to tell the program what form to bring up.
And then this is.
He's not sending the whole form, he's just sending the data plus the header information.
Ah,
See, it's kind of, you're seeing the raw data.
see,
here,
I keep
and
thinking
then
like it's a
gonna pop up
fax or
with
something, but no, you're actually, yeah, okay.
So this is like the raw data.
Right,
It's behind the message. And
correct,
when this finishes, FL message is gonna pop up.
yeah, got
And
it.
what it's supposed to pop up, let's put that.
If you were in a situation where time was of the essence, you could use the PSK 1000 you were talking about. But if you
Yeah,
started,
if you had good weather
started
conditions,
having
If you
problems,
Yeah.
have
you'd have to
appropriation.
slow down.
Yeah.
Yeah. If,
Yeah.
yeah,
If you
based
have
on conditions.
appropriation.
Now, which form have you picked for this?
This is a
ICS 213.
Okay, and there you are, it popped up all by itself. I didn't even have that program running, but the header information that he sent in the beginning did. Now I've got two things set here. I've told the program I want you to show it to me in two formats. I want to see it in FL message, which is this is exactly what he filled out right here.
And in
That's the
text.
form. And then I also had it put it out in an HTML format
Respond to me.
on my browser.
Let them see you respond.
Oh,
Just.
Okay, now if I go in here to responder,
Ah,
okay, I can click on my reply date, okay, and my time,
current time, yeah,
okay,
got your message, thank you very little.
Information received.
come down here,
Wow, that's cool.
Type someone else's name.
So if you
Yeah.
put your radio dial onto a signal, you hold that up to the speaker of the radio.
okay, and we'll just go ahead,
Where's the send?
auto send.
And you're receiving it, right, Dan?
Mhm.
Okay, so you don't see any visual acknowledgement at this point that you've sent it?
He would see it in FL.
Going
Yeah.
right there.
Oh, very good,
And the red means it's sent.
or it's in processing.
It's actually it's already been sent, that much has been sent already. Now what is also, the nicest part about this, the software is also doing forward error checking at the same time.
Yeah, I was watching it on Dan's screen as it filled in the receive block on Dan's screen.
Yeah, okay.
And
Somebody's in FL.
if it misses a few bits and it can't decode it, it'll come up and it'll tell you it has an error. And it'll say, do you want to display it anyway?
I know.
And you click on yes, and it'll bring up the form, and it will populate as much of the information that it was able to decode.
Now, are you able to do offline or online print?
When I bring up an HTML format, yes. That
Yeah.
was why I did that.
Yeah.
If you have a printer available, you could print that.
Absolutely. Yep. When you bring it up in HTML format, yes.
Click on the E down there for your Explorer, down at the bottom.
Come on, Eric, come on.
This edge is
Yeah.
good.
No.
Which one? Yeah. Did it open it in Edge or? Yeah, there it is.
There it is.
There you are.
There you go.
Now I can print that.
Yeah, see, that's your standard.
Yeah.
It's just bring it up in HTML format, that's all. And that's why I do that, because the software has already saved the file. I've already got the file out in the subdirectory. It saves it automatically. So the FEMA director or the guy running the disaster relief or whatever it is,
The incident commander?
incident command, we can say, hey, listen, I need a copy of this. It's okay, fine, no problem. And just print it right out, give it to him. Or you can put all the data files onto a thumb drive and say, here, print out what you want to print out. That way you can read them on your screen and just print out what you need.
And the FLMG has most of the ICS.
It has the ones that,
Most common.
it has the most commonly used ones that NIMS has requested to be in there.
But you can download them from the site and store them on your own.
But they're not going to be in the format that the program uses.
You can download a fillable PDF format, but that can't be used by this.
If you install Fldigi, don't you get the latest form?
Yes. And they do frequent updates, like every couple of weeks.
Now, just since somebody who, I think Rick, it was you, you were talking about something a minute ago. I'm going to close that down. The ones that they send, this is RMS Express here.
Okay,
Okay, this is what we use during
On
the week.
Thursday nights?
On Thursday nights. Come on, program, run.
yeah, I don't want to, I know you're doing that other, I just want
It's not, it doesn't want to run. I don't know why it's not going to run here. It should run.
Because we're watching.
Yeah, oh, there it goes. No, the CPU is tied up to something else. Okay. Now, I logged on as me, okay? And WX4PCA, which is me on Thursday nights, sent myself back an ICS 213 form. And this is what it looks like. That's what their ICS 213 form looks like on RMS Express.
to, okay.
Okay. Now, when you're filling the actual form out, to say you are the originator, you're going to have these little blocks down here. Okay. And when you open it up, that's what you will see. That's good. Let me see if I can bring one up for you so you'll see it populated.
How many people use RMS Express?
I've telnetted a bunch, I haven't done HF yet.
Okay.
Okay, now if I come down here and I click on, let's see if I'm going to send one to WX4PCA, I'll double click on that.
Yeah, we have to do it.
All right, that form comes up, I go up here, I click on this,
Conditions are right.
Okay.
the browser opens up, and there's their ICS 213 form. I fill in the information, I click on submit, then it goes back to another window, it says post to outbox, I post it to my outbox, I bring up the transmit portion of the program and send it.
So if you're not familiar with this, this is using what's called the WinLink 2000 system. It's kind of an interface between RF radio and email. So an example of a way that you can use this, I was sitting on the beach a few years ago, actually with this radio, and have no internet connection. Got my laptop connected to this. I go into this application and type out a message and tell it that I want to send that over HF. It gives me a list of stations that I can use as the far end, and I pick one of them that's fairly close by. I was on the southwest coast of Florida. I think I picked one in Louisiana. and said, transmit it, and it starts a connection between my radio and the radio in Louisiana, transmits the message. On the other end, it puts it in email, so it delivers it as an email message. So,
It was originally designed as traffic from ship to shore stuff, kind of, is that where it came from? Or?
It was a national traffic management system.
Right.
when the Hurricane Sandy, Sandy is the one that got
Sandy, yeah.
New York.
Superstorm.
There was a ship that sank, and they used Winley 2000 to send a message from the ship to ARRL. ARRL called the Coast Guard and they dispatched and did a rescue. And it didn't say, I think only one or two survived.
Yeah, not everybody made that.
They went out and picked somebody out of the water, and they used that application to send that message over HF.
Yeah. There are literally thousands of file servers around the entire globe that are linked into the system. It's all done for free. If like any one of us can get a computer going and load the software onto it, and away we go. Okay, I've got one in my house that's linked into the system. It's linked into the internet. When I receive something from somebody over the radio, the program decodes it, puts it on the laptop or on the computer I've got attached to it, and it sends it out over the internet to wherever it has to go. Okay. So there's your button. Put your cursor on your button, right mouse click on it. Now when you type your name for the button, you type the name for the button down here, come over here, click on apply. And then you're good to go. But you've also got to come back, when you're done doing this, you do all this work, set your buttons all up. You got to come over here, and go into macros, and click on save.
Ah, they're
And
macros.
if you don't save macros, all the work you just
Oh,
did,
you just,
gone.
those are all macros. Oh, very cool.
That's the only, you can do anything. And you can name the file something differently. The basic file is called macro.
So you could make multiple files with different. buttons.
Exactly correct. Exactly correct.
You can just go.
You just go berserk. Now, when they do the digital net, when the net control station comes on Sunday, and he does the digital, he's got like 30 or 40 macros he uses.
Interesting, okay.
You still have that file on your machine for the macros for the sideband net or for the digital net on Sundays?
I don't.
Okay, I don't have those anymore either. I got rid of it a long time ago. But there was just a list of macros like this long.
Wow.
That, and they send it to you when you volunteer to be a net control station. They send you the macros,
Oh, that's nice.
and you just put it out there in the NBEMS file. And when you're going to be a net control station, you go
open
ahead
that
and you
file.
just pull that file in, and all your buttons are pre-programmed for you.
Very nice, very nice.
So basically, the net control station, once you become familiar with the buttons and what they're all doing, it's just point and click. Because it automatically puts in the guy's call sign up there. So if you're doing a check-in to me and I'm net control, I click on a button, it puts your call sign back in there and says, K4BBH, thank you very much for checking in. You've been verified. And then it says next station, please. Then it puts my program back into receive mode. And I wait for the next guy. I click on his call sign. It pops it up there. I come down, click on a button down here for answer. It sends it out to him.
Very good.
Okay.
Very nice.
So, yeah, this program is fairly easy to use, and I'm learning something new about it every day. He just added, I guess, about the middle of last year or the year before, he added a program called Cluster. Called what? Cluster. And you can log on, you set your cluster program up and go out there, and you can see where all the stations are.
Wow.
Just like you do on the N3 software.
Yeah, right.
So that's pretty much it. I mean, the basic fundamentals of the program is pretty much that. But like I said, the biggest thing is when you install it and you bring it up, put all the information in that operator file. Call sign, your first name. Make it look pretty. Put your call sign all capital letters.
Look who snuck in.
Okay. Now, the RTTY, don't forget, RTTY's got two vertical bars, you gotta be on them, put them right on there. And it's gonna be, your mode in this program is gonna be right here. Oh crap, I can't
Is
see.
that for stereo, left and right?
Yeah. Actually, it's for market space. You know what that market space is, right?
21,
Hey,
25.
Ron, click on the little bookmark,
Which one?
the book icon underneath the frequency.
Here?
Next one over.
Here.
Yeah, that one. If you're looking to find out where PSK 31 frequencies are, that's, it lists
It's
it.
down listed.
And if you got cat control hooked up to it, you can click on that and it automatically adjusts your radio for you.
But you'll notice VHF's not in there. But for training purposes, yeah, VHF is great for training purposes. If you tell somebody we're going to be on this frequency on the VHF radio, we're going to be centered on 1000 on the waterfall, boom, you're there.